Hello.
Hello.
Can you tell us your name and a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, my name is Cory Lacey, and I am a registered nurse. I work in the operating room. I also have a rental property, and I manage that. And I'm really into supplements and natural healing, and just being healthy, eating organic. And I put a lot of focus on my health and try a lot of different healthy things, and typically I meditate a lot and take good stuff.
Great. And how many sessions have you received from me? About, you don't have to give exactly.
I think about 7, probably 7 or 8, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So, and then what was the issue that you desired to have resolved?
Well, when we first met, there was a kind of a tenseness in my neck, my throat, and it was a flow problem coming from my head and my sinuses down to my just like the blood flow, and it just kind of felt like everything was trapped in that throat chakra. And when that was probably my base issue, and just I guess energy, low energy.
Yeah. And then what did you experience from that? Did you was it resolved, or did you experience an improvement, or?
What do I want to say? Sorry. That doesn't cease. It was, I would say that it wasn't completely resolved, but I did notice a significant improvement when we did it. I noticed flow. I could feel flow coming from here all the way down through my neck into my body, and my whole body just felt energized. But that place in particular, it definitely opened it up and helped flow. I could feel a significant change, in the next at least day and maybe 2 days afterwards, after we did it, and right after too. So maybe two days at least, I would say I noticed a change.
Cool. Yeah. And then, so then what was the experience of when you received the work? What was that like? Walk me through it. If someone, never had this before, what would it be like to have a session?
Okay. It was very, you were the physical, you were touching different parts of my, you would go to different areas of my body, when you're touching them, and you were kind of, focusing in on those emotions, I think, or those energetically, I could just feel energy moving, when you touch different areas of my body, mostly here, down maybe my stomach, and just different areas that you felt like you were getting called to, from what you were telling me, and I could feel energy moving when you do that. And then sometimes you'd come up to my temple and touch that, and you were kind of helping me process through those emotions, and letting that energy, helping open the energy channels in the way that you know how to do best. And that's what I felt like, and I think that's what we talked about. And I could tell that you were kind of helping me process those, and you were kind of helping me release those energetic blockages in certain areas.
Yeah, thanks. And then, was there a particular moment during or shortly after the session where you had an aha moment, or just a breakthrough in your healing process?
Yeah, I think where I had an aha moment, especially with you, was that before I met you, I'd done a lot of energy work with different people. I had at least 10 or 20 sessions with this lady I was going to see in Phoenix. She would mix craniosacral, which is something that you mixed into your work too, with a whole bunch of different energy work. And I could feel hers, and it was really profound. But whatever I felt with you, it was even more it was I could feel more energy flow in the areas that we talked about, and that I was interested in focusing on myself. And I liked that because it was you took my needs into consideration too. And I definitely felt more energy flow right after. And I think that the aha moment was that hey, this really is something that you were really gifted at, because I've been to a bunch of acupuncture, and nobody up until that point had moved energy in my body like you had. So I think that was where the aha moment was because, yeah, you were just on a different level. For me, at least, it really helped.
Yeah. And then were there any important lessons that you learned or remembered about yourself or the world from receiving this work?
I think you're just talking about when we did it, you were telling me different emotions like pain and fear and guilt and stuff like that. And I assume those were accurate interpretations of what was going on. So I had a lot more emotionally trapped in my body than I had previously or consciously been able to realize that you could tap into, which is really cool. Because a lot of times you don't realize that those emotions are trapped. And I assume that's what was happening to create those blockages that they were helping me release. So yeah, that's probably what it was, that there was a lot more emotion there, and that somebody could help me release those. I didn't have to, necessarily do all the work by myself through meditation or other avenues I've frequently pursued myself. So yeah, that was kind of the realization.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how do you think that they might help you moving forward? Like, not continuing to get them, but like having had them, how do you think they will benefit your life in the future?
Yeah. How will they benefit me? I think that the way that I could see them benefiting me is just, well, first of all, like the sinuses and everything is a lot more open because of what you did. So
breathing,
which is
affects everything, right?
Yeah, I think breathing is like it is the most important thing we do. So
More energy.
I mean, you can't really go. Yeah, I don't think you can go with that air. I haven't really checked, but it's maybe like in nursing school, they teach me not that long. So I think that breathing is super important. And in your throat, like you can't speak to people, swallowing, stuff like that. So I mean, energetically opening up those pathways to what it means to me on a daily basis is it's really important. And I think it's an interesting thing I think what it really helped me realize is like I'm so big on supplements and herbs and homeopathy and stuff, but there's different ways to move energy, and there's different ways to move the flow of things in your body. And sometimes like we don't realize until we experience something else that we have to have an open mind to things. And I think this is, for me, was definitely part of that with you, because a lot of times we're so stuck in our ways of like, okay, I know herbs, I know food, and I know these different things work, but energy I'm just kind of not sure on. I'm just kind of like a little skeptical on it. And after doing a session with you, it really helps me to be like, okay, there's more here. And I love it when that happens, because it opens your mind to more things. And I think it made me think more energetically about things than I had previously before meeting you. So that was cool.
Right. Excellent. So you did mention that you had some energy work before, and could you talk about, was it just the one, or was there several others types of energy?
So I had done this lady in Phoenix. I mean, if you consider acupuncture energy work, which I kind of do.
It is, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I've done a bunch of acupuncture, and I've done a bunch of craniosacral therapy. So a significant amount actually. And the craniosacral, a few of the people that I did with craniosacral would actually do similar to you, but in way different ways, where they would touch different parts of my body and my spine to get energy flowing through there. So I've done at least 5 practitioners for just craniosacral. I've done 3 or 4 acupuncturists before you, and I've done the lady that was really good with energy work in Phoenix before you, and she mixed in craniosacral. So yeah, so I have done. Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So, and I'm a big proponent of working with multiple healers at once. Yeah. Well, I mean, not necessarily at once, but at a time. And to get different aspects of help. And so keeping that in mind, what would you say are the differences, and like when would you steer someone towards me versus when would you steer someone towards the acupuncturist or or some of the others?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah.
For me, I think that, well, what I like to tell people when they ask me about health and like different, avenues they should try is I like to recommend the things that have worked for me, because everybody's kind of different, and there's no one size fits all with anything. I will say that if you're a person that's tried a lot of supplements and a lot of like herbs and the homeopathy, that kind of, when you take pills and that kind of avenue, and you've never explored the energetic component of like anything that I've talked about, I think it's time to look into that for sure, because you're missing a huge part of healing and a huge part of what's possible if you don't look into that. And I truly believe that. So I would say the number one thing, if I met somebody and they were asking me about health and whatever, and I knew they were on exactly the same, like a bunch of supplements, and they'd been on this journey for a while, but they've never done anything like where you're talking, because in their mind, they just think it's weird. And I was in the same boat when I first got into this. Like, oh, there's no way somebody can just move energy by touching me, or, by, not, or even on the phone, or not being there with me, or, stuff like that. And I think that is a limited mind state. And I think that in order to heal, we truly have to have an open mind. And moreover, it's like, if you keep doing the same thing that's not working, the definition of insanity is like, keep doing the same thing that's not working over and over again, and and expect a different result. And if somebody's listening to this interview right now, they're probably drawn here for a reason. So I would say, like, think more into that, and just give it a shot and see, because some of the things that I've just given a shot to have really changed my life. Because and usually when I'm in that and I'm already like kind of delving into that area of like, oh, I'm listening to interviews on it, or I'm reading stuff about it, it's kind of like there's an intuition that we all have, and that intuition is guiding you in that direction. And the reason that you're in there anyway is because that, hey, this is something you need to look into. And too many times I haven't done that when I've came across it, and I think that I've waited too long, and I've came back later on. And I think that and I'm very much better about it now, just listening to that intuition of like, okay, why am I here? Why am I on this web page or searching this certain article or something? And I think we're in that stage, especially with energy healing. It's time to try it with somebody, even if they don't try it with you. But yeah, obviously you're really good at it too.
Yeah. Okay. And then, if you kind of answered this one, but do you have anything more to say to someone who is considering, they're thinking about it and they're not sure if they should go with it or not? Do you have any last message for that, or have you said it all for that?
Well, I would say that, I've tried a lot of things, and you were definitely, as far as the people that I've tried, like, absolutely one of the best that I've ever gone to. And like, I would tell them to try you for sure. Because I do notice that there's a difference in level of like expertise or intuition with people. And sometimes you kind of get somebody that's like a little bit into it, but not like really into it. And it's like their life, and it's what they really love to do. And you just get a completely different result than somebody that's like super passionate, like you, that's super passionate about it, that loves this stuff, that lives this stuff. And you kind of get somebody that's, like halfway in of it, but they like it, but they're doing like 50 other things too at once. And they're like a chiropractor that does energy work and supplements, and they're just trying to like blanket and do it all. So I would say to find somebody like yourself that's like their sole thing that they're doing. And they just really are really passionate about that one area. Or they're not spread so thin that they're just trying to like, be like a Walmart of like natural healing. And
right.
So I like somebody that's very focused and very into it. I think that's an important, when I'm considering doing any service, I want to make sure that person, because the worst thing is you go to somebody that's like really kind of into it, but not really, and you just don't get that great of a result. And you're like, well, energy work doesn't work, but they never really tried it with somebody that was very in tune with it and very proficient at it. So yeah, that's what I would say. I would say find somebody that knows what they're doing and is very into it. Yep.
Like me.
Like you. Yeah, exactly.
All right. And last question, if anyone wants to contact you about your experience of somatic soul work, just to get a little bit more information, how could they contact you? What would be the best way?
You can just shoot me an email, probably is the best, or Cory K. Lacy, that's CoryKlacy at yahoo.com. Or you can hit up Harissa, and I'm sure, if she can give you my number or something. I just, I don't want to throw my phone number out there, but you can contact me any way you want.
Okay. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks. You too.
Bye.
Bye.